Hi everyone, this is Crafty Decoria. I hope you're all doing great. So today I was in the mood to do a little bit of decorating for fall, and I wanted to make a new piece to add to my decor. So I decided to add this to my channel as a project share. If you would like to make this, all of the items that I am making this with are from the Dollar Tree. I picked up a galvanized pail. This is the wider one, and it has the jute twine around the edge. I picked up a white candle holder, 3 of their styrofoam carvable pumpkins. I picked up some Spanish moss. If you can't find this, another option would be the Excelsior that the Dollar Tree carries. That would work really nice as well. Actually, that in a way is nicer because the Spanish moss is a little bit messier, but I do like the look of the Spanish moss. I picked up some white acrylic paint, a stencil by Jot. This particular one says Home Sweet Home, and I have my paintbrush. I'll also be using my hot glue gun, and I may use a little bit of E6000 glue just to make sure that it adheres really well, and that's it. So if you would like to see this project share, perhaps even make one of your own of these pumpkin topiaries, then continue watching. Let's jump into the project share. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to be painting my pumpkins with the white acrylic paint. I'll be at least giving these pumpkins 2 coats. I'm going to see how they look after, if I want a little bit of the orange showing through, or if I want them completely white. I may add another coat. I also will be removing 2 of the styrofoam stems. I will be stacking the pumpkins one on top of the other. So only the pumpkin at the very top is going to have the stem. Now I'm also going to be adding these 2 stems to this stem here because I want a longer stem at the top of my pumpkin. Once I have placed those 2 on top, I then will wrap that in the jute twine. Once I've completed all that, we'll move on to the next step. So my pumpkins have now dried and I'm ready to stencil on the words. So I am using the stencil by Jot that says Home Sweet Home, and I will be stenciling 1 word on each pumpkin. So what I did first was I took some painter's tape and just taped the stencil to the pumpkin. Now this is not a flat surface, so it's going to be a little bit tricky when you're stenciling, but just take your time and then just press into the grooves and do the best you can. It's still going to come out looking great. Just use a sharp pencil, and once you stencil it with the pencil, so here you can see I stenciled it with the pencil, then I just take my Sharpie marker and then I fill the word in. Now of course you can use the acrylic paint that the Dollar Tree carries as well. I just used the Sharpie because it was quicker, and it's just, I find it a little bit easier, but if you have a fine paintbrush then it works great as well. Also, you want to be careful and make sure that your paint is dried on your pumpkins. When you go to take the painter's tape off, it may take a little bit of the paint off, but just take your paint and touch that up. The same thing with the Sharpie. As you are filling in your word, you might find, especially if your Sharpie is not brand new, it may take a little bit of the paint off, but again, just touch that up. So once I finish stenciling this one and filling these both in, then I will take my Mod Podge that the Dollar Tree carries as well, and I'm going to coat them with this just so that there's a protective finish on it. And the Dollar Tree carries the matte as well as the gloss, but today I will be using the gloss. Before I start assembling everything, I need to glue on the 2 styrofoam stems that I took off the other 2 pumpkins. So all I'm going to do is take one, I'm going to turn it upside down, and then I'm going to take the second one and then glue that one directly on top. And once they are all glued together, I'm going to take my jute twine, and now this is the one that comes in the pack of 3 from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to wrap the whole thing so it looks like one full stem. I'm going to glue the pail onto the candle holder. For that, I'll be using my E6000 glue as well as my hot glue. I'm just going to apply it to this lip here and then place the pail on top and let that dry. Okay, so for this project I used 2 bags of the Spanish moss. One I used to fill the inside of the pail, and then the second one I'm going to split probably in a couple sections to go in between 2 of the pumpkins. So I'm going to take my bottom pumpkin and I will add some hot glue to the bottom of it and then place it on the Spanish moss. Then I will take my Spanish moss again, place some on top of the pumpkin, and then put my middle pumpkin, and then again I will take some more of the Spanish moss, place it on top of that second pumpkin, and then place the third pumpkin, which is the top one, on top of that. Everyone, so here is the finished Dollar Tree pumpkin topiary, and I absolutely love how this has turned out. I can't get enough of the Spanish moss. I really love it. I know that it's a very messy product to work with, but I just think that it gives the piece such a more expensive look, and it really ties in nicely with the white and the black, and then with the silver from the pail and the jute twine. It just is a really nice farmhouse look, and I just love how it all came together. Of course, if you do not want to use the Spanish moss, you could also use the Excelsior that the Dollar Tree carries, because it looks like hay and it would look great as well. With the Spanish moss, when I put this together, I just ripped it out of the bag so that it was in like a long shape of a noodle, and then I twisted it to make the shape of a donut, and I glued the one end to the other. I added a ton of glue, and then I placed it on the pumpkin, so it kind of resembled like a bird's nest, and it had a hollow piece in the center, so the pumpkin sat very nicely inside of that, and then just repeated the steps. I did I went, once I put it all together, with some more hot glue just to make sure that it was secured nicely to each other as well to the pumpkin. This was a very simple, inexpensive, and fun project to make. I really hope you give it a try. If you liked this DIY, please give it a thumbs up, share the video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And as always, guys, you take care of yourselves, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.